Great to have you. Okay. I like your cap. Very stacked. Very nice.
Yeah, but you see what it says here. It's my personal.
Keep calm and carry on.
You see, that's my personal motto. Comes from the Second World War when they said to people in London, you know, just keep calm and carry on.
Okay. Is that what you think the motto for 2012 should be?
Well, that was in fact the motto during the sovereign debt crisis of 2011. I mean, as you've just been discussing with Wasim, the Fitch downgrades, S&P rumored to be downgrading everybody other than Germany. That was what was giving us the slip later on in the afternoon. But, you know, for me, I was more interested in the JP Morgan numbers.
So revenue was weak. We know that profits met expectations. And this was enough to create a bit of worry.
Certainly, look, that's the most hated asset class in the world, banks, big banks. I mean, they've actually done quite well this year, but of course they're in a very tricky space where nobody's quite sure what kinds of business they're going to be allowed to be in next year. I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, you can't be too big to fail and get massive bailouts from the Fed when you're in trouble and then expect that you're not going to get some kind of comeback, you know, when the going's good. So regulation tighter, issues around people pecking on you with your business model.
Yeah.
I mean, investment banking is what dragged them lower in this particular space. And we know Royal Bank of Scotland basically shutting down great big parts of their business.
So we might actually just hear more bad news from the financial space this year because of the regulations, the splitting of the retail versus investment side.
I think what's going to happen over the next few years is that there's going to be generally a kind of curbing and probably some mergers and acquisitions, and then at some point the profitability will start to rise because the market environment's less competitive. But we'll have to see.
And with regards to Fitch as well and downgrading our outlook,
that's just totally unacceptable on a Friday, you know.
5-year CDS is increasing 10 basis points, so 1%.
Yeah, look, I mean, they didn't actually give us a downgrade. They took us, from a triple B, they left us there and they said the outlook is more negative than it was before, but I don't know.
Reaffirming our credit rating of triple B.
Yeah, but so what happened that made our outlook worse? What I'm reading is that people expect South Africa in 2012 to be peaceful, nothing happening on the political front, you know, so I don't know what that's to talk about. But hang on, do you know who Tim Tebow is?
No, I don't.
Tim Tebow.
Who's Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow is a quarterback. He plays for the Denver Broncos. Why this is relevant is because the quarterfinals of the NFL is happening this weekend. Tim Tebow is the guy, when he scores a touchdown, he goes on his knee like this and talks to his invisible friend, okay? So now we're hoping that the Patriots are going to beat them, but more importantly, we're hoping that the New York Giants, the favorite team of Wall Streeter types like me, are going to beat the Green Bay Packers. So there you go. Now you know.
Do you have an invisible friend, Paul, that you consult with for markets? So next week we've got the MPC rate decision. The 5.5%. You don't really pay much attention to.
No, that's news to me. Thanks. I'll make a point of looking out for that next week.
Jill Marcus.
Yes, that's right, Jill Marcus. Look, Jill Marcus, she's done a good job so far. She doesn't have a spouse who's trading the euro and the Swiss franc on the side. So as central bankers go, she's doing a top job.
Oh, of course, you're talking about the Swiss National Bank. What about the fact that China has suspended the sale of the iPhone, what is it, 450?
4S.
4S, sorry, I can't keep track.
So when you see stories about public violence in China, your first thought is people, you know, pro-democracy protests, Tiananmen Square, people being run over by tanks.
No, actually, they want to buy the iPhone.
It's the iPhone 4S. It's just been delayed or something. So now there were people throwing eggs at the windows of the Apple store in whenever it is. But the question I guess you've got to ask yourself is, what kind of people go to an Apple iPhone store with eggs? Huh? What kind of people go to a store like that with eggs? Huh?
Boiled eggs, maybe I could understand because they'd stand in a long queue, but raw eggs, no, not so much. Thank you, Paul.